Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was almost impossible to take introductions there towards the end. Thank you for being patient. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with CJ International, and it's my privilege this evening to welcome you to our product focus call. We call it Straight Talk with Russ Bianchi. Russ Bianchi is the formulator of the Z product. Tonight he is on an airplane at this exact moment, and so this evening we're going to have as our very special guest Dr. Joshua Plant. Now, some of you may be familiar with Josh. He's the Director of Research Sciences for Z International. He's part of our corporate team. Very excited to have Josh with us. He is literally graduated first in his class from Harvard Medical School in biosciences, typically an 8-year program, and he managed to accomplish that in 4 years while being a father and husband, and now with 3 children, a 4th one on the way, Josh, as I understand. His current responsibilities are overseeing the production and manufacturing of our moringa research, and works hand in hand with Dr. Russ Bianchi on the formulation of new products. So we're very excited to have Josh joining us on this evening's call. We're going to have with us Pat Anderson. Many of you are familiar with her. She's a diamond elite with our company's compensation plan, also an independent distributor, member of our Distributor Leadership Council, and she will be interviewing Dr. Plant this evening. Now, what I want to do, especially for those of you that are invited guests, this call is really for you as well as our brand new distributors, perhaps the first opportunity they've had to be on a national or international call, learning more about these products that we're marketing through Z International. What I'm going to do is 2 things. I'm going to kind of bring everybody up to speed with Z International. You know, many of you have been invited guests. The company, Z International, while we've been marketing our moringa products for just a short 6.5 years, the real deepest story started a couple of years before that with an hour-long documentary that aired on the Discovery Channel. Now, this documentary was introducing us to a botanical, a tree, if you will, by the name of Moringa oleifera. Now, certainly this tree was pretty much unheard of in the Western world, but what we learned is that a very small quantity of the powdered leaves of this tree were being used to literally reverse childhood starvation in as little as 2 weeks in some of the most impoverished and poverty-stricken and drought-stricken areas of the world. Now, since the original airing of that documentary, we've had truly overwhelming third-party response and validation of the nutritional power of this tree. Today, there's well over 200 worldwide humanitarian organizations that endorse the use of the Moringa oleifera tree for nutritional purposes. Countless medical schools and universities further attesting to the power of this botanical. Governmental agencies such as the National Institutes of Health, they actually reported in 2008 in their April newsletter that the Moringa oleifera tree was the most nutrient-rich botanical they had ever studied. That's over 5,000 botanicals that agency has studied. They even went on so far as to say that this botanical had been used in traditional medicines for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years to treat or cure over 300 diseases and ailments. Now, we were very fortunate that original documentary from the Discovery Channel, a videotape copy of it, was forwarded to a gentleman by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, for those of you not familiar with Ken's name, he is an icon in both the nutritional and direct marketing industry. Ken and his siblings were the founders of Nature's Sunshine in the 70s. That company you may be familiar with. They've gone on over almost 40 years in business to become a billion-dollar company, truly one of the handful of legacy companies in our industry. Ken went on in the 80s to be the founder of Enrich International. Many of you will recognize that company. Again, another one of the billion-dollar legacy companies. Now, Ken had long since retired, but when he saw that Discovery Channel documentary on the Moringa oleifera tree, he recognized he could do more good for mankind with a single botanical than he'd done with literally hundreds of other products from his previous 2 companies, and that was the genesis of ZJ International. Today, we are are known as the Moringa Company. We are the world's largest harvester, importer, and producer of Moringa oleifera products. This evening, you're going to have an opportunity to hear from not only one of our top income earners, but one of the most knowledgeable people in our company about nutrition and holistic health care, Dr. Pat Anderson. And she will be interviewing, as I said, Dr. Joshua Plant. Now, you're going to hear a lot of things this evening, and I want to make it very clear that as independent distributors, we're not purporting to be doctors, although, frankly, because of the nutritional power of this product, we've been attracting many people from the healthcare and medical communities to become distributors with us. But as an independent distributor, we're not a doctor. We're not here to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent, prescribe. What we are doing is we are sharing the message of what good nutrition can do for the body through the international products, Moringa products we bring to market. And so hopefully I'll kind of bring everybody up to speed a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand the call off to Pat Anderson. Pat, I'm very excited about this evening's call. This is our first opportunity to interview Dr. Plant. And I'm going to hand the call off to you because I'm going to sit down and grab a pen and paper myself and take some notes.
Oh, thank you so much, Fred. And I sure appreciate everything that you do for all of us. I'm excited about tonight. I've had the pleasure of traveling with Josh around the country and working with him, and so this is good. We're going to have fun tonight. Josh, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure, Pat. And once again, I am honored to be on this call today. It's especially to be interviewed by you. As you mentioned, we've traveled around a lot together. We've spoken at numerous conferences together, and it's always a pleasure to stand on stage with you and to learn from you each time I'm with you.
Well, we're just so fortunate to both of us being in this company. There's so many new people, Josh, that haven't had a chance to meet you and hear your story. Fred did a great job of what you did at Harvard, which was totally amazing. But what I find even more amazing than that is how you got to Zija. How about you share that with us?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So, as I mentioned, or as Fred mentioned, I graduated from Harvard and I finished a fellowship shortly thereafter studying obesity and stress at the cellular level that this causes. And so I became really intrigued, and I decided, it's about time I go out and start providing for my family. And I had numerous offers from pharmaceutical companies to go work there, work in a lab, and to kind of follow the path of those that typically do with my degree. And I took a step back and I was realizing, if I do what's typically done, the status quo will continue. And in our day and age, the health of people is declining at rapid rates. And this is, in my opinion, largely, if not solely, correlated with the nutritional degradation of the food chain and the lack of proper nutrition in our diets. And so I decided to step away from the typical thing and I decided to actually seek out Zija. So I sought them out, and it was the reason I sought them out is because of my belief in Moringa oleifera, and specifically Zija's products, and how these products can help alleviate that nutritional deprivation that is so prevalent in today's food chain. And so I went to Ken and I inquired about a job with him because I believed that giving me a platform to communicate the benefits of Moringa to do more than me working in a lab at some large pharmaceutical company.
Well, I'm sure glad that you took the initiative to go and speak with Ken and that he hired you. How long had you been studying about the Moringa?
So during the course of my studies, I spent over 10 years studying, and through the course of my studies at the University of Utah, where I was a biology and chemistry major, I studied the effects of natural compounds on cancer cells. And I looked at the effects that these have on preventing cancer cells from dividing. This work was widely well received to the point that the National Institute of Health offered me a 2-year fellowship fellowship to come out there and study. And then I again studied natural products and the role they have specifically on breast cancer. Looking at the molecular level, the metastasis of the breast cancer, and how these natural products can help that. And then, as Fred mentioned, I was at Harvard, and there I again looked at natural products. And so the course of my studies, natural products and the role that they have in cancer and obesity, moringa always kept coming up. And so I have known about this plant for quite some time, just from the scientific standpoint. And so realizing this and researching this, I believe that this plant, me getting behind this plant and promoting this plant and researching this plant into effective products that can be taken easily, was the best way to go. And so I would say for over 10 years, I knew about this plant and researched it.
Okay. So when we're looking and when we do the research on the moringa, we see that it is one of the most nutrient-dense botanicals out there. Let's talk about the nutrients that we find in the moringa tree.
Yeah, so we look at the nutrients, and nutrients is kind of a broad term. So we look at, we have the vitamins A, vitamin C, and there's also minerals, your iron, your potassium. All of these compounds are found in moringa at exceptionally high levels. And what's more important than just the high level is that they're in their natural state. And when you look at nutrients that are found in moringa, the natural state is so important because when they're in their natural state, they are more readily absorbable. And, we say this a lot. This kind of has been so used that it's kind of fluff, but I want to stress the importance of that. It's when these nutrients, this vitamin C, when it's synthesized in the lab as ascorbic acid, it's protonated in a state that it is not easily absorbed by our cells, and thus it is discarded out of our cells, or in some cases even toxic. And so moringa, in its natural state, it is truly vitamin C. It's not ascorbic acid. It's not protonated, and so it's more readily absorbable. And so these nutrients, not only nutriently rich, it's nutriently absorbable as well, which is so amazing.
Mm-hmm. What I really like is how many anti-inflammatories are in the moringa tree.
Oh, and this is one of the things that we are just now starting to learn in the scientific community about moringa. And I believe we just hit the tip of the iceberg about the true potential of the anti-inflammatories. When we look at the anti-inflammatories, what this is these are rare compounds. And what I mean by rare is meaning that they're really only found in a few trees, moringa oleifera being the exceptional ones that are actually designed and help with inflammation across several modes in our body, whether it be inflammation in joints or tissues, inflammation in arteries or thereabouts. This inflammation across the board, we find that these compounds that are infused plants, and I mentioned especially moringa, are so vital in their diet. And so what is amazing is when we consume moringa, we're getting those anti-inflammatories. Because these anti-inflammatories are so new to the scientific community, the compounds that lead to this anti-inflammation, can't find them in any type of over-the-counter supplement. These have to be consumed in their natural state. We don't know how to synthesize these in a lab. We don't know really even what they are, so to speak. Just that they're in moringa and that they're doing great things.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what I found when I started doing my research. Many pharmaceutical companies tried to take the moringa tree and make it into a pharmaceutical, and they failed.
That's true, and it's because it's so difficult to reproduce that effectively what's found in nature. As I mentioned, even something as simple as vitamin C, for us to produce quote-unquote vitamin C in the lab, we have to make it ascorbic acid, which kind of falls into that realm. It shows up as vitamin C on the ingredient deck, but it's not really vitamin C. Our body doesn't look at it as vitamin C in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we have a complete nutritional line. So let's talk about our Smart Mix and Super Mix. Is that a product that anybody can take?
It is. These, as Fred talked about, the moringa has been used to treat malnourished children. And these products, Smart Mix and Super Mix, are moringa products. It's just moringa. There's no stimulants or anything of that sort. And so from babe to the elderly, they're able to consume this. Then again, anyone who hears contrary from their doctor, we are not speaking against that, but speaking largely for the masses, these products can be widely consumed several times a day. One is able to get the nourishment from those without any adverse side effects.
Okay, so basically just an organic whole food.
Exactly.
Okay. So then what Russ did was he added stimulant to come up with our XM3 and our XM Plus drinks. So explain what they're all about.
So these is where we have utilized our foundation is always moringa. We believe wholeheartedly in the plant, the botanical, and the nutrition that this can provide. And so by adding in stimulants, not only are we getting nutrition, but we're also able now to get that energy boost that a lot of us need to carry us throughout the day. And these aren't like the stimulants that you find typically in your your Red Bull or energy drink. These are stimulants that are designed to give us energy naturally. So, for example, there's a compound in there called desert tea. And what this is an excellent bronchial dilator. It helps remove a lot of that buildup that's in our airway. And so by doing that, we're removing that unwanted congestion that we get from living in a polluted atmosphere. We are able to take a deep breath, breathe clearly, and so we're able to get increased oxygen into our blood, which then gives us increased energy. And so this is a sustainable energy, a true energy. And so, we find that XM Plus and XM3 are amazing products that give energy. We find athletes love these products because of the energy that it gives them, the sustained energy. Not just that buzz that a lot of people get from other drinks, but it's true energy, and that's what makes these products so amazing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, our company really exploded when we launched the weight management system. And we talk about the system because I don't like pulling things apart. We like to take the whole thing to get the best result. So let's just go through the system.
Mm-hmm. Let's do that. So the weight management system, you mentioned this is the whole system. Our weight issues are so complex. We are overfed with food that is just high in calories, high in fats, and deprived of nutrients. And so we're overeating. There's billions of dollars are spent in advertising to make us consume more food. Food is engineered in such a way that it doesn't give us a feeling of being full. It's engineered for us to consume more and more. And so we are just kind of put in a hotbed of food consumption, stimulated all around us to consume and eat more and more. So this weight management system, the first thing that we do is we suppress the appetite, and that works through many ways. The first thing is by Supermix, which is in our weight management system. It gives your body nourishment, and when our body receives the proper nourishment, it gives the feeling of being full. How our body knows it's full is not necessarily through the calories we eat, but through the nourishment it gets. So for example, it's a lot of times when we'll go and eat, junk food, we just ate, 500 calories or 1,000 calories, but we're still hungry immediately after eating. And that's because there was no nourishment in that food, even though it was jam-packed full of calories. And so by using Supermix, we're able to suppress that appetite because we are getting so much nutrient from the moringa oleifera. The next thing in our weight management system is the detox tea or the premium tea. And this tea is made or designed to help us flush our system out. It is amazing how much food we consume in trying to remove the toxins that are built up in our system. When those toxins are built up in our system, it signals to our bodies of eat stuff so that I can push it through. But sadly, that which we eat is just adding to the toxins rather than moving them out. And so this detoxifying tea is an amazing, all-natural tea that helps alleviate a lot of the toxification that our body is experiencing so that we can kind of begin with a fresh start. Another thing in our weight management system, the product, is the XMPM capsule. And I know you love this one, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
This is also an amazing capsule because it can be taken throughout the day. It's not a drowsy formula. Don't let the PM fool you. But what it does is it helps remove stress and helps remove a lot of the emotional eating that may occur. For example, if I'm sitting at a desk at work and my boss throws a pat of deepest for me to do, a lot of times will channel that stress into eating or other modes of, other emotions will channel into eating. And likewise, it's got seat health, it's got many other botanicals in there that help kind of reset a lot of our issues that are associated with weight problems. And then another thing is the XMAM capsule. Now, this XMAM capsule has some stimulant properties in it, but what is amazing about this is it's actually designed to help increase our exercise performance and our desire to exercise. At Zija, we are really about creating life-changing habits, and there's no getting around the benefits of living an active lifestyle. And this XMAM capsule is designed to really help us get that enhanced runner's high, so to speak, when we go out and exercise, so that we start to make these life-changing habits. Something that other people just try to ignore, but we here at Zija embrace because we believe wholeheartedly in the benefits of exercise. And so you can see throughout our weight management system, we have appetite suppressants, we have detoxifying, we have mood relaxers, and we also have exercise enhancers. And then we also have the meal replacement shake, the Prime 90, which is an amazing protein shake because it does something that no one else does, and that is complement protein with moringa oleifera, the nutrients found in moringa. And when protein by itself enters our body is completely confused on how to respond to that. Protein is not found in isolation anywhere in nature. It's always accompanied with other vitamins and minerals. And the reason that is because those vitamins and minerals are essential for us to break down that protein and metabolize it and utilize it into our cells properly. And so by covering protein with the nutrients found in moringa oleifera, we are actually creating an absorbable and metabolizable protein that no one else has. And so one is able to feel completely full because protein, of the three forms of energy, fats, carbohydrates, and protein gives us the feeling of being the most full. And so we are feeling full, we're getting the protein, and we're also getting the nourishment, delivering the best meal replacement shake on the market. And so our weight management system, it has meal replacements, appetite suppressants, exercise enhancers, mood relaxers, and detoxifying. And as you mentioned, Pat, it is meant to be treated as a whole system because there are so many angles that challenge our weight that one needs to address them all to truly maximize the benefits of weight management.
And we see the results, we hear about the results all the time, and I can't tell you that it's so rewarding to be able to help somebody with a natural product and they see results in a short amount of time. The one thing I did want to ask you is, in the meal replacement protein shake, I get asked this a lot, is the whey that we use in the concentrated form?
So we actually do, it is in a concentrated form, and the reason that is the process of getting the protein. There are several steps that are taken. So if we look at the initial whole milk, to isolate the protein from that, what it is we are removing the whey protein out of that. And when people go to isolation, there's another step. And to get the isolate from the concentrate, one is having to introduce a barrage of chemical steps. And this is not anything we wanted to do. In the concentrated form, it's kind of like us just skimming the protein off of the milk, similar to how one would skim the fat off of milk. We are just doing that. We are being able to skim the protein. And so by an isolate, one is actually hydrolyzing with certain acids the protein. And we felt that the body is meant to consume stuff in its natural state. And so that's why we decided to go with the concentrate in lieu of the isolates.
Excellent. And I'm so glad we don't have any soy or anything like that in our product. It's all good for us.
And likewise, we closely track where the whey comes from. We make sure that it actually comes from New Zealand because New Zealand does not allow any type of genetically modified food to be fed to the animals. And in the U.S., it's so hard to really trust this, sadly, that that's the case here. And so we source it from places where we feel that there are several steps of regulation to make sure that not only is the whey natural, but several sources removed from the whey. The cow itself and the feed it was fed was also natural.
Oh, perfect. line that Zija has is our skincare line, and I know you weren't around at the beginning, but I'm sure there'll be stuff coming down the pike at some point that you will be involved. Why is our product line so different than everything else out in the market?
And this kind of stems back to nutrition again. I really can't emphasize this enough. When we look at skin, it's the largest organ. And the skin actually replenishes itself completely about every 30 days. So we go through about 30 to 100 billion cells a day our skin makes. And one of the key components of nutrition is to convert calories or food into energy, or cellular energy. And the amount of cellular energy that is required to actually make that many cells is amazing. And when we don't get the nutrients in our skin, that's when it starts to age, that's when it starts to deteriorate, because the body is having a hard time lacking that energy to reproduce those cells effectively. And so our skincare line utilizes nutrients in moringa. And when I speak of nutrients, the nutrients that the skin really craves are what we call phospholipids. And moringa is an amazing botanical because it's enriched with such a diverse array of phospholipids. Because when you look at a skin cell, phospholipids are used to kind of create the barrier of the cell, or the membrane surrounding the cell. But it's not just one type of phospholipid that makes that membrane. The membrane is actually composed of a variety of different phospholipids, and that's what creates it in fluid and elastic, giving it, the vibrant look, is those varieties of phospholipids. And moringa has so many different phospholipids, and so not only are you replenishing with the nourishment that can only be received through the outside environment, but it's providing it the wide array of phospholipids needed. It's the equivalent of using several different skin care things all in one. It's kind of like the all-star team of nourishment that we provide to the skin.
Mm-hmm. And once again, we see the results. It's just fantastic. Okay, so you're going out on the road next week. I know you're not coming to see me, but I think Russ is. You're going to be launching a new product. Can you give us any hints?
Okay. Do your best. You know what? We're so close, and for this group, I will give a few hints back. So these new products we're really excited for, but I'm going to speak a little bit about one specifically. And this is what we're doing here is we're realizing that not only does our body need nourishment, but our whole system needs nourishment. And our body is in a symbiotic relationship with certain bacteria, good bacteria, if you will, flora, that live in our gut digestive system. And these flora require different sort of nutrients that the human body does. They aren't actually able to break down the nutrients that our body uses. And so and likewise, the nourishment that these flora utilize, our body can't functionally utilize. And so you almost have to consume the nourishment for these specific flora. And these flora are so critical for our health. They help with our digestive system. They help with our immune system. They're critical for us in maintaining effective weight. And so we're introducing a product that provides nourishment, not just to our body through moringa, but to our whole system, including these flora, so that one is able to really experience system-wide health. And the results we're seeing from this are outstanding. I wish I could tell you now, but the results are amazing. People are taking it. It's stimulant-free. People are consuming this. They love it. They love the taste, and they love the effects they are getting from this. They're feeling full. They're seeing weight loss. Their immune system is being enhanced through the biotic. Because when you have an abundance of these good bacteria that are living well in your system and are getting the nourishment they have, they are more effective in beating out those bad bacteria that often plague us. And in an era of overuse of antibiotics and food that is actually stripped out of the nourishment that feed these bacteria, we are able, it is more critical now than ever before for us to specifically supplement not just our bodies, but our whole system. And so in just a few short days, we will be announcing this product. And I believe the only way, and I know that the only way a person can actually get this product before convention is by going to one of the Race to Summit events. And we are traveling all over the U.S. are on the book constantly. So we'll see how my wife, who's due next week, reacts to that. Hopefully I still come home to a wife. No, she is fine. She understands this, and so we are excited. We are going all over. Russ and I and Ryan and Jeremy, the four of us, and we are experiencing amazing results. We are excited for this. The momentum that this is going to create, this product, is going to be unmeasurable. We are expecting this to really take Zija. We are at a big level now. We've grown immensely, but this is going to take us even more so to the next level. So we are extremely excited.
So I fly in tomorrow morning to Utah. So if I just kind of walk into your office, I might find a sample to take.
I might take you out to lunch.
Okay. I can't wait to try it. Well, Josh, I can't thank you enough, and I know all the listeners are just so pleased to have had you on the line tonight. And I know they are going to look forward to seeing you at some of these meetings that start next week. And I know I'm in Arkansas and Oklahoma next week, and there's piles going on everywhere. So thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And thank you for having me on this call. It is a great honor. And I'm going to do a selfless plug here, but for those that want to follow the updates of the Race to Summit, check in at Zija. We've got all of those posted there. Find which ones are around you. Attend them. Get a chance. The only way you can't order these online or anywhere else is by showing up in person to get these products. And you will not be disappointed. This is an excellent way to grow your business, to get an insight of what these products do, how they're capable of being used, and the benefits that they can have. And so we're looking forward to it. And so thank you very much, Pat.
Okay, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. With that, I'm going to pass the call back to Fred.
Well, thank you so much, Pat, and Dr. Plant, thank you so much for all of you've been doing for Zija International and our distributors, and we appreciate the efforts that you're going to be putting in for the next couple of months as we're leading up to our convention. Ladies and gentlemen, tremendous information this evening, and once again, we want to make sure that you understand while there's truly, in many cases, nothing less than miraculous results people have received from using our Zija products. We don't purport or claim to be doctors. We're not claiming our products will diagnose, treat, prevent, cure, mitigate anything. What we're sharing with you is that we have nutrition that just has not been available in the food chain for decades, and that's the reason why people are getting such tremendous results. So in concluding, what I want to do is two things, folks. Number one, for those of you that have been invited as guests, your friend, a family member perhaps, a coworker has been sharing with you information about our product. What we're going to encourage you to do is as soon as we're through with this call, get a hold of the person that invited you to be on the call. Tell them you want to try our products. One of the greatest benefits of being an independent distributor of Zija products is you can offer these incredible products to your friends and your peers with a zero-risk, 100% money-back guarantee. Use the products for 30 days and decide for yourself. And so we encourage you to try our products. Now, for those of you that were also invited this evening to learn more about the Zija income opportunity, we know many of you were looking into that. Tomorrow evening, we're going to change the focus of the call. We're going to be hosting a very special information, if you will, an executive overview of the income opportunity available with Zija International. And when you recognize that these products meet genuine needs, people want these products, and the fact of the matter is the only place to get these products are through an independent distributor of Zija's products. That's where the opportunity is created. We're going to have a call for tomorrow evening. It's going to go specifically on those issues. That call will be hosted by one of our top income earners, a gentleman that has literally created in just a very short period of time a 7-figure income from home. And he'll be sharing with you exactly what's necessary to create, in many cases, truly life-changing income available through our income opportunity. So we're going to encourage you to same time tomorrow, same conference bridge. With that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines. Once again, thank you to Pat Anderson and Joshua Plant for taking their time to share this information this evening. We'll open up the lines. We'll close out the call. Thank you for joining us. We'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow evening at the same time. The lines are open.
Thank you.
I agree.